that. Little lie, do a little dance up with that. What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that? Holding up my head, doing that. What's up with that? What was up with that? Always run your mouth. Got me wanna tap out. Got me wanna tap out. What was up with that? I had nothing left, so I'm smoking my loud. So I'm smoking my loud. Going down. All I want is your fire. We going down. I wanted your flame for so long, and I want you to behave. Do it, lie, do a little dance up with that. What was that? Holding up my head, doing that. What's up with that? Doing bad, doing little lie, do a little dance up with that. What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that? Holding up my head, doing that. What's up with that? What was up with that? How did I get? What was up with that? Out of my head. What was up with that? How did they get? What was up with that? Out of my head. What was up with that? How did I get? What was up with that? Out of my head. What was up with that? How did they get? What was up with that? Out of my hands. More than a mountain, leave me alone. Lost control. I hit a low, but I'll be back up. I already know. What was up with that? How did I get? What was up with that? Out of my head. What was up with that? How did they get? What was up with that? Out of my head. What was up with that? How did I get? What was up with that? Out of my head. What was up with that? How did they get? What was up with that? Out of my head. Up with that. Holding up my head, doing that. What's up with that?
Do it.
Little lie, do a little dance up with that. What's up with that?